In 1991, I decided to make a trip over to Vietnam. I had two reasons for going back: the POW issue, and more importantly, finding my son and his mother. One of the reasons for this decision came about after reading the resignation letter from Colonel Peck, the ranking officer in charge of the POW MIA issue. I then read the Senate Intelligence Report on POWs MIAs. It read like pure fiction. Every veteran should read this report. I was pissed. Then for the past 23 years, I was trying to find out about my son and his mother. I went through the Red Cross and the Pearl Buck Foundation, all to no avail. I now knew I had to go back. I will go back and make an attempt to find information on both issues. This video will deal with the latter, finding my son and his mother. There were three of us who made this trip: John Rath, an ex-Marine, Norvella, ex-Army, and myself, ex-Air Force. As soon as we touched down in Saigon and checked into our hotel, the Koi Hong Hotel, we decided to do some sightseeing. Our first stop would be the Old Rex Hotel, especially the rooftop bar. That's where so many of the big shots used to assemble. We then hired a couple of sicklers, where Nob tried to unionize them. Once we left the Rex, we headed to the Hotel California, then to visit the old U.S. Embassy. A few Vietnamese workers were sprucing up the wall, apparently waiting for us to return. Our next stop was the Saigon Floating Hotel. Now what was unusual about this stop was that they were holding an oil and gas exposition. Attending this exposition were businessmen from Mobil, Exxon, Shell, and a few oil and gas exploration companies. Now this was in November of 1991. There was a travel and trade embargo going on. It was illegal for them to be there. Okay, it was illegal for us to be there also. A few other places we visited was the St. Mary's Cathedral in downtown Saigon, Ho Chi Minh Gardens, and I had a photo taking me standing in front of Bak Ho, or Uncle Ho, for Ho Chi Minh. Later we took a side trip down to Cu Chi, where we visited old VC tunnels and war room. As we were leaving, an old former VC called us over. After some pleasantries and some mutual respect, he asked us if we wanted to fire around at a chicken. I shot one using an M16 and Nob did the same with an AK-47. We then checked out of the hotel and headed north. We had to hire a driver, interpreter, security agent who actually proved to be very helpful in my quest. We stopped for lunch at Fentiette. The driver and interpreter, also state security person, her name was Lee Thi Tu Lone. I think I'm pronouncing that there right. And she was very, very helpful to us, even though we knew that she was working for the government. We headed off towards the Trang, visiting the Cham temples along the way. I told her my problem, and I was going to try to locate my son and his mother. She was very, very helpful with this here. As you can see in the next couple of photographs, she found somebody who knew exactly where the street was where they used to live. In this photo is a friend of mine. His name is Dot. He's also my son's uncle. And this trip. In this photo we have a pharmacist. His name is Vo Thi Pham Vinh. He was very instrumental in me locating the residence where my son and his mother lived. I gave him the name of the street in a Boston accent. He told me that the name of the street has been changed, but he took us directly right to the house. I am indebted to him, and I would like him to know that I'm still thinking of him, and I consider him my friend. During my first initial meeting with Dot, his mother came out, and she's a great old lady. I haven't seen her in 23 years either. I asked him to join us, at the Grand Hotel for supper. And I also asked the pharmacist if he would join us. The evening turned out better than what I could have expected. Actually, this part of the whole trip turned out better than I expected. I got everything I initially came here for. I searched for over 20 years, and I found them.